Hey ninjas! Today we're going to dive a little bit deeper into our historic events in this module, as well as some more injustices, because we've learned about some injustices so far in this module that have been faced in the past. And so we're going to look at a technique that authors sometimes use other than a text or a paragraph or an article to express their opinions and information about past events or events that were possibly an injustice to somebody. And one of those ways is by using cartoons or comic strips or using a combination of words and pictures or illustrations. So let's go ahead and take a look at this cartoon that you see right here on your screen. So as you can see, we have a cartoon, and so we're going to ask some questions to dive a little bit deeper into this cartoon to see if we can figure out what point was the author or the writer or the illustrator of this cartoon trying to get across. So as we look at this cartoon, I'm going to ask myself some questions. What is going on? Describe the cartoon. What images do you see? So I see a woman who is sitting in a seat, and it looks like, I don't know, maybe she's on a bus, and on her seat it says moral and courage. And on her little lunchbox it says Rosa Parks. And down at the bottom, there's a little guy down there, and it says our leaders today, and he says, "Hey lady, that's my seat." So, I can tell this is Rosa Parks, and we've learned a little bit about Rosa Parks and how she stood up for the injustices. So we've described the cartoon, we described the texts that we see, and the texts give us a little bit more information about what is going on in this picture. So what looks familiar? And we've kind of discussed that. We've discussed it's a book. We discussed that it's Rosa Parks sitting there, and we discussed a little bit about what we know about Rosa Parks. And so as we're looking at this cartoon, we know that the illustrator, the author of this cartoon, is trying to show an injustice that, that has happened, and they're depicting it by using pictures and words to show this unjust. And so what we would call that is an editorial cartoon. Now, an editorial cartoon is a cartoon that uses pictures and text to make a statement. It expresses an opinion about a wide range of topics in the news, such as politics, culture, social injustices, like we've been learning about in our module so far. Now, cartoonists often use images of well-known people, just like we saw with Rosa Parks, to send a message. And they're a little bit challenging sometimes to understand unless you want to have some background information about them. So when you're trying to interpret an editorial cartoon, you're trying to figure out, what is the author trying to tell me? What point is the cartoonist trying to make? You want to look at the picture, the words, and then you want to think, what do I know about what I'm seeing in this cartoon? So what we're going to do is we are going to create some editorial cartoons of our own, and we're going to represent one of the injustices that we have read about so far in our module. So go ahead and continue your lesson to work on your editorial cartoon.